We are live. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. Oh, hold on 1 second, y'all. There we go. Much better. Okay. I was like, my mic was not on. What the heck is going on? But yes, it's your boy James. You're watching my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews, where we're here to give you some updates while trying to watch our mouth. Depending on the topics, that may or may not happen, but that's okay. We're going to live to fight another day. Joining me, my co-host, Mrs. Belle. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, beautiful people. Like, share, and subscribe. Hi, I'm here. I'm getting it together.
She getting it together, y'all. She is on camera, y'all. So as you guys can see, this is an updates video. But before we, get our updates, we want to do some house cleaning rules here. We want you to please subscribe to all YouTubers. We have Shana _NCD. She has been on my channel several times. We have also Keywan J, who's also been on my channel several times, and Mrs. Best channel as well, doing some recaps with us. So make sure you guys subscribe to their channels as well. And then also, right after this live, y'all, we have a Watch Your Live Best Friends that we're going to do on our collaborative channel. The link is in my description box. Please be sure to click the link, subscribe to the channel, so that way you'll get regular updates. We're going to try to go live on our collaborative channel as much as possible. We have a live tonight, and we'll probably do something else over the weekend as well. But we're trying to get this channel up and growing. So please, guys, if you can do us that solid, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you click the notification button so that way you know when we give updates. This channel is primarily focused on Mrs. Best and I's personal life. Like, we're personal on this channel, where we're going into our business. We're telling you relationship advice, relationships we have been through, and everything as such. So if you guys want to hear that, you'll subscribe to the channel and make sure you're there tonight for us. Hey, Keywan, we just mentioned you. So, you guys, this is Keywan _J_TV. You guys, please subscribe to her channel. She does recaps. She does all kinds of content on her channel. She is a lot of fun. We enjoy her channel. Me and Mrs. Best made an appearance on her channel not that long ago. We had a great time. So, please subscribe to her channel. Absolutely, anytime. So, y'all, these are some updates. So we got a lot to talk about, as far as things that are coming up from my channel. This is what updates is for. Updates is to give you an update on what I'm about to go live for, what I'm going to cover on my channel. But first, I have to kind of give us some unfortunate news on one of these slides. So unfortunately for you Dawson Creek fans out there, we have unfortunately lost James Vanderbeek. I believe today. He has unfortunately passed away due to his fight with cancer. I am a huge Dawson Creek fan, y'all. When I was injured in July, I tell you, the month of August, I was rewatching all of the shows that I watched when I was younger, and Dawson's Creek was one of those shows. So I got to rewatch the entire season. I know that they recently, last year, got together for a reunion where almost all the cast, with the exception of him because he was too ill at the time to attend, he wasn't able to make it this time, but his wife and children were there in his place to honor him. He's unfortunately passed away, you guys, and this was really sad. Mrs. Best, did you watch Dawson's Creek when you were a kid?
To be honest, I was more of a UPN girl. I preferred the shows with a little bit of culture. I'm familiar with it. I've watched episodes because back in the day, to the younger people, there was no such thing as a DVR. You watched what the hell was on TV.
Yeah.
But he's to pass so young from cancer is unfortunate. So condolences to him and his family.
Yes, I had to do it, y'all, because I still like to watch Dawson Creek as an adult. I have a lot more different opinions than I did when I was younger watching it. So rest in peace, and thank you for everything you have done. And my heart goes out to his family, especially 6 children, and they're very young too, to have lost their father. So my heart goes out to them as well. Definitely well wishes for them and as they carry on. So with that being said, here we're going to go ahead and jump into our first topic. So Ashley Darby did an interview, y'all, with the Girls Are Fighting. And if you guys don't know, Sharice Jackson Jordan has been parading around this storyline of Ashley making out with her son. So Ashley has now responded to that foolishness. I'm assuming that what she's saying here, she's not going to say at the reunion, or if she does, she's probably going to be a repeat at the reunion. But it was a very interesting comment that she said. So let me go ahead and play the video really quickly.
In the past, she did. She was like, "Can you be my daughter-in-law?" She would actually ask that. And so I was like, "Hey, girl, like this could be your chance. Get you back on the show."
I'm crying.
In the scene, I thought she was gonna like throw champagne in my face, you know, flip the table, do a whole thing. Nothing of the sort.
Yeah. So do you still talk to him at all?
No, we don't speak. After Potomac and Ponies, he like wanted to hang out, but yeah, I put a stop to that. Can you imagine? Yeah, I've learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel bad about it, honestly, because if Charisse genuinely feels the way she does, I am remorseful.
Yeah.
I don't like the way she's going about it. And that is where I'm losing respect for her. But if she's genuinely upset, I can acknowledge like I crossed a line and we can deal with it. But if you're going to keep defaming me and saying all this stuff and talking bad about my character, then we have another problem.
Were you surprised at how kind of like the audience reacted to all of it, how it just blew up?
Not really. I mean, it's salacious. Yeah. And I know it was salacious. I've been doing this show long enough to know
what's gonna hit. Yeah.
I mean, Charisse was doing TV shows and podcast interviews, and I'm just happy that she's back in the fold.
Your former castmate on that. I know that's
well. So we got a lot to talk about because she gave us kind of an earful. So Mrs. Best, I have to ask you because for me, I kind of felt like that was a very ridiculous thing to even bring up or announce that you had done. But how do you feel about Ashley saying that she only brought that up for Charisse to get back on the show in some capacity? Do you think that there's any truth to that, or do you feel that Ashley is trying to make this less of a dagger to Charisse? Like, because I don't agree. I don't believe that she did that for that reason, to be honest.
I think that is part of Charisse's reason. She is thirsty to be relevant. She didn't feel the need to speak out until after the public found something wrong with Ashley's actions. So Ashley's right in that regard, but she's also still wrong. Like, nothing that she says will redeem her from what she did. It's trifling. It goes against the rules of relationships, and she kind of just gotta accept and take the L on this one. Because we know Charisse is only doing these interviews and acting woe is me and upset because everybody made such a big deal about this. But at the end of the day, stop talking about it already, is how I feel. But yeah, Ashley, nothing is gonna help you, baby. You shouldn't have done this. Your coochie done been everywhere from Australia's senior citizen population to somebody living in the DMV area who is your friend's son. So I don't know. Ashley fucking on cancer patients, senior citizens. She's got a lot going on. I just want her to figure it out and accept no matter what you say, you still a hoe with a shiny forehead. That's it.
Yeah. I agree. I do agree with you that Charisse is thirsty, because for you to be dragging this on, first of all, yes, we know it's wrong. Yes, we understand that she shouldn't have did it. But at the end of the day, your son is grown when she did it. So it's like, and the only person that really should be upset about them blowing up the spot is him. Charisse shouldn't be upset to me. I feel like, yeah, you could feel a way about it, but to be upset about it, and do all these interviews and stuff, it's like you are milking this for dear life. And Ashley, honestly, I wouldn't have responded, because what more can you say? You did it. Oh, well, like, what more can we? It's like we're pulling teeth with this, and I want her to leave us alone. But I thought it was interesting that she said that she only mentioned it on camera to have Charisse have some relevance to get back on the show. So it leads me to believe, because, we see Charisse every season in some capacity. She's always at someone's event, so it makes it like, okay, so do you want her to have banter where she's showing up at scenes talking? Because she did fine this season. We got just enough of her of all I'm gonna take a Charisse. So I don't know. I just feel like Ashley, if that's what you feel, then fine. But I just thought that was a interesting point of view that she said that if she wants to have a conversation, we can have a conversation, but don't slander my name. Don't do all of that.
I
It is
mean,
like Ash.
do something with somebody's son. You don't get to comment on names being slandered or any of that. Like, you did what you did, and this is the result. I don't think Ashley's used to being held accountable.
No,
At all.
she's not, because Ashley is the perpetual victim in a lot of her situations. So no, she's not held accountable at all. And she can do these very like troublesome situations and just get out scot-free because she's cute, perky, and everybody, likes that image. Accountability skates away from her. So in a way, now that I'm thinking about it in clear view, yeah, Sharice, keep doing your interviews. Keep putting this behavior, because to me, she needs to accept some accountability, because that is wrong. Like, that's weird. And that's strange that you would do that. So once again, when they're talking about Stacey, you can't trust Stacey around husbands and kids. Realistically, that should go to Ashley. But, I digress. That's how I feel. So moving on from there, we got to talk about the Married to Medicine seating chart on my channel. Now, you guys, we talked about this on Keywan J's channel. You guys, please subscribe. We did a live with her and her cousin, which was so much fun. We watched the Carlos King interview with Toya Bush Harris and Eugene. We did talk about this, but I have not gotten around to talk about it on my channel for those of people who didn't get a chance to watch. You still have time to subscribe and go check out that live. But for now, we'll go ahead and talk about the seating chart on my channel. So the seating chart, everyone is saying they're doing away with how relevant this is. And I don't know if they're starting with Married to Medicine or maybe another franchise. But from what we see, Toya and Quad have first seats next to Andy. And usually these seats are given to Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. Usually that's how it's been, at least for the last several reunions. So for them to be pushed back, one, I tell people all the time, I agree with Dr. Jackie being pushed back because she doesn't give anything. And I don't feel like somebody who is like a matriarch of a show should have that first seat. We know Kyle Richard gets this treatment. Giselle used to get this treatment. She doesn't any longer. And, several other people on Housewives get the treatment of sitting next to Andy just because they are a matriarch of a show. So, Mrs. Best, I don't recall your feelings about this when we were on Keywan's live, but how do you feel about Toya and Quad getting first seat next to Andy?
I understand Toya. Like, regardless of how I feel about her, she was relevant throughout the entire season. So I understand Toya getting first chair. I don't understand Quad. And y'all know I am a Quad fan. I'm someone that's always advocated for her on the show, but I don't understand why she's in the first seat, because aside from the little beef with Simone, which seems to be improving, or at least not getting worse, Quad, she don't really have a problem with too many people this season because she's so busy dealing with King. I feel like the only reason Quad's in first chair is to discuss her breakup. And I really don't care to discuss Quad's breakup. Like, well, all y'all need to understand who are obsessed with the whole Quad and King breakup. She is just divorced, and this is the first person that she has presented publicly. So I expect for them to break up. If you marry in the first piece of work that you take seriously after getting out of a serious relationship or a marriage, you're tripping. So to me, Quad is doing what she's supposed to. And I think that giving her first chair, she could have gotten second chair because the breakup, the fertility, it does need to be discussed, but I'll never see fertility as like an interesting storyline.
That's
like,
a good point.
Well, I root them on, but it doesn't provide me like enough entertainment where I think you deserve first chair.
Right. I agree with that. I feel like, it's a great journey to follow along with, but yeah, I do agree with that. I don't think that that's like a first chair momentum. Now, what I will say is that I don't have the full graphic up, but Dr. Heavenly is sitting third. Now, we get she's a friend to the show, But I felt like when I was on Keywan's channel, we were discussing this. I felt like if we're gonna have Heavenly be in the third seat as a friend of the show, and have Mimi, who is a cast member of the show, on the left of her, Heavenly might as well have been where Quad was. Because to me, it feels like, why have her there in front of a cast member as a friend of? And Heavenly is the only person really that everyone's talking about or everyone's getting into it with as the friend of. So I feel like she should have just been in Quad's spot. And Quad should have been second. Jackie should have been at the end. That's how I saw it. Because what makes it different than her sitting in front of Mimi?
Yeah.
So.
And DM Rocks is right. It's her first time in first chair, which just shows it's too little too late. They should have been giving Quad first chair back in the seasons when her and Mariah's friendship fell apart. They should have given Quad first chair after her and Dr. G announced their divorce. They should have given Quad first chair after that season where she was running around with Simone looking for her daddy, starting a puppy line, and her marriage started to go downhill. Quad should have had first chair so many other seasons ago, and now that she has it, it's kind of unfortunate because you're looking at it like, okay, yay, you finally got it, but do you really deserve it? You feel me? Like,
yeah, no, like I don't feel that she deserves it. I don't think she really gave too much this season, but what she's always given. And to me, because Heavenly's running for Congress and it's a new forum for her, I feel like this is all new drama and new beef. And I know a lot of people don't like Heavenly. I totally get it. I'm like this. So I'm 50-50 with Heavenly. Sometimes I like her. Sometimes I feel like she do take it too far. I do hold her accountable on my channel. I don't co-sign all the fuck shit she does. But what I will say, though, is that I understand why Bravo keeps her in any capacity. Friend of or main cast member, I understand why Bravo wants her there. Because Heavenly pushes that envelope. Regardless of how people feel about her, she pushes the envelope. Now, does she take it too far? Yes. But I understand Bravo's standpoint of having her there. Without her, the show would be a snooze fest.
That's the truth.
I'm sorry. I know people don't want to hear that, but it is the truth. Who else brings just as much drama as Heavenly? Who else is going to poke the bear? I mean, I guess we could say silently Contessa can do it, but the problem with Contessa is that she's not, I don't want to say reliable because that's not the word. She's not consistent.
She's wishy-washy.
Yeah, we don't know which way she gonna go. So that's why with Heavenly, we know what we're about to get. So I feel like she is producing, and I feel like they didn't take back any money. I think they offered her same check that she would have gotten even if she was the main cast member. I feel like they still gave her same check, which she worked for it. So I ain't mad at Heavenly. I'm not. Yeah. Another question that a lot of people were asking, as you guys know, it was earlier a couple of weeks ago that Dr. Simone had unfollowed Dr. Jackie. And then several days later, they followed each other back again. Well, at least Dr. Simone followed Dr. Jackie back. So obviously what's given in this reunion is that they were able to make up. Now, I said this on Keywan's live, I believe. I said that I thought that was unfair for Dr. Simone to take anything out on Dr. Jackie for defending Dr. Heavenly on Watch What Happens Live. I feel like Dr. Jackie was neutral. She wasn't picking a side, and she doesn't need to. Y'all are grown women. And you don't know what she said to Heavenly behind closed doors. So it's like you can't just fault her. Have y'all ever had a friend like that would fault you for another mutual friend's decision, and because you didn't open up your mouth and defend right or wrong when you wanted no parts of it? Hey, y'all ever had a friend like that? I know I have. Mrs. Best, have you?
Yeah. I mean, I got rid of them, but I have had friends like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Toya's trying to y'all are funny in this chat. Toya's not smart to produce anything but headaches from others. Jackie was she was like y'all, and I see a lot of other recappers who recap Married to Medicine say that, you know, Jackie is wrong. She never holds Heavenly accountable. It's all like Dr. Jackie is not her maker or creator. Like, she doesn't need to hold her accountable. That's a grown ass woman.
They just don't like that Heavenly has an ally, because, and we see this across all shows, the moment somebody they don't like gets an ally, I feel like they're even more threatened by it, especially when that ally is somebody who is well loved by production, gives nothing to the show, but is allowed to stay.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't heard anything about the reunion yet. It's still early. They just filmed this last Friday, so I don't know what's been going on. I haven't seen the reunion looks yet. We on Keywan's channel said who are our best and worst dress. So I said my best dress, I'm gonna give it to Quad or Angel because I feel like they will give. And for my worst dress, I said that it's either gonna be Simone or Contessa because for reunion, Simone always gets it wrong. And Contessa, she was my favorite look last reunion, but when I watched it live, because the picture she looked great, but when I watched it live and actually saw her hair, I was like, oh yeah. Contessa, don't do that. No, don't do that again. You know better than that. So yeah. Yes. Carlos said that the interview with Toya will be talked about at the reunion. Oh yeah, because it happened 2 days before. So I hope.
That's why I said that interview gonna come back and bite her in her ass, because she sat there and though she didn't say too much bad about the cast as a whole. If I was Simone, I'd have a problem with the stuff she said about me. And I feel like Heavenly's expecting it all. But if I was Simone and they still cool after that interview, they just cool to be cool.
It's an ally situation, as we said. It's because she needs an ally, and Toya is going to give her that because she did say that Simone gives 10% of her check to Cecil, like Cynthia did, or something like that. So, and she talked about Mimi. I feel like Mimi. This is my thing about Mimi. I feel like Mimi's not going to do anything about this. She's not going to check her. She's not going to say anything that I feel like is read worthy. I think she's going to psychoanalyze her and go into her professional degree. Now, will I be mad at that? No.
I think that's the only way to read Toya for filth, because at least then Mimi can cite her sources in the American Psychological Association compared to anybody else saying something about Toya and Toya just deflecting. Like maybe somebody with some merit needs to read Toya, because Toya, if Heavenly wasn't on this show, y'all would be feeling the way you feel about Heavenly about Toya. And I stand and stick beside that statement wholeheartedly.
I'm just thinking of this because here's the thing. Because a lot of people want Heavenly off the show, and at the point that you just made was an aha moment. If Heavenly leaves the show, y'all not gonna like Toya the way y'all think y'all do. Y'all are not. And the thing about Mimi is I don't think she's gonna wear Toya out. I think Toya's just gonna get loud, rambunctious, and just put Mimi to a point where she gets exhausted. That's what Toya does. Toya yells and holler.
People with sense, they're not gonna argue with somebody ignorant.
Yeah,
we're just not. So Toya thinks she tires people out. I think even that's giving her too much credit. I think any intelligent, emotionally mature person would look at Toya and say, you're just not worth it. And I agree with DM Rocks. I think Mimi's boring. I like Dr. Mimi, but she should be a friend of, not a full-time cast member. I stand by that.
Yeah, and I stand by that as well. I don't want to see Mimi be a main cast member next year. Now, she could be a friend of. I don't mind her being on the cast, just a friend of. I feel like her storyline was good. I mean, but it wasn't enough for me to say I'm captivated. I like literally when she talked about it, I immediately wanted it to go, okay, no more this season. I don't want to see this again. Hi, Hot Pink 25. I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Toya and her husband was talking about Quad and King when Toya, you disrespected your husband all the time. If you go on Keywan's channel, find our live, we went in on Toya because I feel like for me, the problem that I have with Toya is that she's making it seem like we're not seeing what we're seeing, regardless of it being an edited show for 45 minutes. We're seeing the context of that. And regardless of how you want to make it feel or what Eugene want to make you feel, it wasn't that. Like, come on. Like, we're not stupid. So, yeah, we went in on them because I felt like they were just gaslighting the audience into making us think something other than their relationship when we know for a fact that what you do on a constant level. So, if that's what, and you know what? It's funny you say that, Hopping. That's what Contessa did with Scott. Like, do y'all remember when season 7 to season 8 happened, where Contessa was going to school and Scott was talking about her to the kids, and then Scott, in that season when they were having trouble in their marriage, he was like putting shit in her head, like, yeah, I got a therapist, she a female therapist. And when Heavenly was talking about how she felt, because it was like, damn, like, I'm watching this on TV with y'all, I'm just thinking, shit, like, this man is crazy, like, the A word. And Contessa switched. It was like, Heavenly talking about my marriage and this and that. It's the same thing Contessa did. So what Toya did was the same thing Contessa did, and I don't like that. I don't like, y'all can't just rewrite history as if we weren't watching y'all that season, or if we can't go back and watch y'all doing that shit. Like, that is crazy to me how they have like revisionist history and want to act like there's no source that can pull up y'all disrespecting y'all husbands or your husbands disrespecting y'all and shit. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I don't care if Toya and Simone make the real marriages. I don't want them both in. Child, I couldn't do it on this show. Let me tell y'all something. Simone with all that hollering, all them teeth and everything, I can't deal with that. I'm not finna compete with Simone's widescreen mouth. I'm not finna do it. I'm not finna do it. Yeah, shout out to Masika Kalisha. I'm not finna do that with Toya either. I'm just not finna do it. Like, that's too much and it's too exhausting. So yeah, but we'll see with this reunion. This reunion is set to air next month, so we will see what happens with this. But I have a recap of Married to Medicine coming up on Monday, so we will be here for that. So hopefully you guys are all here. What you say, Hot Pink 25? I understand how everybody's getting mad at Quad for talking when she haven't been talking. The only one who's talking is King. I think the problem is with that one is there's a few things happening with this. So I don't think this cast as a whole really likes Quad that much and want to champion King the way they did Dr. G. The problem with Dr. G is until he got with Sweet Tea, he didn't have anybody solid. So it wasn't really becoming of them to bring him on the show with Quad here, because he didn't have anyone. When Sweet Tea got here, it was a way for them to Quad, because we got your ex-husband on the show. Now you're going to have to face him and we can ice you out. Because they tried to ice Quad out. That's what that was that last season. The first, what was that? Season 9, season 10? Whenever Phaedra got here. That's what that was. So, and Quad just turned the tables, brought her a man on the show. And now they're going to do the exact same thing. I almost feel it in my gut. Now, I cannot prove this, but I feel like they're going to champion King. I will almost bet you King will be back in some capacity on this show next season.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Let people move on, please.
Yes. Like, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I said it here. I almost sure somebody, whether if it's Eugene or Cecil, somebody's going to bring King on this show without Quad knowing. I can guarantee, because that's how they move. So, yes. So, we'll see what happens with that, y'all. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we don't see King at all next season. But if we do, I told y'all, because that's what they do. They messy like that. So, but speaking of messy, we got to talk about Belle Collective. So, Belle Collective dropped their extended trailer, and I don't know why Carlos does this. Let it be a surprise of everybody's storyline. Like, let everybody's storyline be a complete surprise, so we are wowed. He basically gave us a runway of what everybody is going through. So we're going to start off in the line of order, going from right to left. So Latrice's storyline, we understand that from the reunion to filming, she had a blood clot, and from her knee to something. And it was a very serious thing. You know, I think Portia had the same issue, if I'm not mistaken, when she couldn't go to Candy's wedding. I think it was a similar situation. And it was hard on them. And also, you know, as you guys know, her and Letitia are at odds. And what Letitia has been doing, according to Latrice, is Letitia's reaching out to old employees of Latrice and trying to get information. And I said, interesting. Am I mad at it? No. Because it's a messy show. I'm not mad at that. Let them come on, let them do it. So, Mrs. Best, before we move on to the next person, How do you feel about what you're hearing about Latrice and the storyline? And do you think Letitia is messy for reaching out to the former employees, if that's what what she's doing?
So I'd like everyone to remember that Letitia was screwing over Latrice while Latrice was thinking they had a sister type relationship. Letitia was siding with Marie, treating Latrice like crap for season after season. So Letitia likes to conveniently forget the bullshit that she does to other people when it comes back at her. I promise y'all, if it was anything outside of her husband cheating, they probably wouldn't even still be beefing, but she's hella sensitive about that. I don't think that's right to do. Why are you contacting somebody's old employees? Why are you contacting someone's old employees? Because you're mad at your man. Again, Letitia's problem is with her man. I think that's shady. If you don't fuck with somebody, just don't fuck with somebody. Don't then go trying to research and bring their enemies on TV. In the words of Latrice, what we see in that trailer, girl, get you a real business. Call some employees for yourself.
Right.
Lord.
So next we have Marie. So Marie in this trailer had a conversation with Letitia, and she said that Cedric was cheating on her and going back to his ex-girlfriend. Now, word on the curb is that Cedric is actually married. That's what I'm hearing through some fans. That allegedly, Cedric is married to somebody else. So this is given what he gave season 1. Now, I don't know if we'll see Cedric because I didn't see him anywhere in the trailer. So I don't know if we'll see Cedric to have a confrontation. And you guys know I'm going to do my Cedric and Marie impersonations. Yes, they are definitely coming back because y'all know I love doing their voices. So I will definitely be doing their voices. But Marie, look.
We could move on. I don't like discussing fake storylines. And Marie, I do like her, but I'm not doing this.
That's why I'm having a hard time because look, I like Marie now. I didn't like her at first, but I like her now. Marie, you got to do better than this. No one believes this. Nobody believes this storyline. Hi, Joseph Felton. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Nobody believes the storyline with you and Cedric. Like, I don't believe it, but I will be here for it. I want to see what happens. And yes, y'all, I will be doing my Marie impersonations. If you guys missed that, you guys can watch my old Belle Collective videos. I had to stop it bit actually because Mrs. Best couldn't stop laughing at me. So she said, "You're not gonna have their voices down back like this." So yes. So now we go moving on to Selena. So you guys know Selena is engaged. She brought her fiance Mike on the show, and in some capacity or so, by way of Carrie or Carrie's husband, which I thought was really stupid, and we're going to explain this in 1 second. Mike got a baby, apparently. So we're recycling storylines and using characters who we feel like will not get that information unless production planted the seeds. Y'all, Carrie shouldn't have been the person to, if that's how it plays out. I don't know. That's how it looked like from the trailer, that Carrie and her husband brought this information to the show. So first off, Carrie lives in Mississippi Gulf Coast, not in Jackson. So you mean to tell me that this information went all the way down there instead of coming by way of any of these other women who live in Jackson? It could have came from Letitia. It could have came from Tambra. It could have came from Latrice. Hell, it could have came from Marie. But you mean to tell me y'all gonna use Carrie to deliver this information? Okay.
I mean, I don't care for Selena on the show. I like Selena. I think Selena's lovable and likable, and I really wish that she would get her little Instagram verification and just become a content creator herself. Especially more people know her for the Dancing Dolls than they do Belle Collective. So, which was shown when she was posted on the Shade Room. And everybody's in there talking about DD4L, DD Dancing Dolls for Life. And Carlos King popped up in the chat. She's now on my show because he was like, oh, snap. Nobody knows about this shit. But Selena's kind of, I love her. She's beautiful. She's easy on the eyes. But I think when it comes to men, she's a little bit delayed. And I don't think she has a storyline without Soguchi and JJ around.
Mm.
I just prefer she go away. I
So
know
do
she's
you
connected to the Bells heavily. I actually think if Selena's going to stay on the show, then they need to have Selena be what Letitia is pretending to be, which is the true girl's girl. Because that's what doesn't make her consistent. Selena's not on the show beefing with people. She's not fucking people over. She's not trying to steal nobody's man. She's not moving funny with nobody. So she definitely gives the person who could bring the cast together, especially when last season her only activities that she did were activities that everyone enjoyed and brought the group together. Like Selena is what Letitia wants to be, because Letitia is just a mean ratchet bitch that's hating on other hoes because she can't lose weight, if I'm being honest. It's true. It's the truth. It's the honest to God truth, because the bigger she get, the meaner she get. And I'm not trying to be fucked up about it, but I don't like the way she moved. And my biggest pet peeve with women, especially Black women, is when the meaner ones like to act like and present themselves as if they are somebody that is helpful, gonna uplift others. Girl, you can't even plan a brunch, cooking corn in the skillet. You can't keep your man happy enough to stay in the house.
Where is Mrs. Moncrief when I need her? How much was that damn brunch again?
She said it's like $65.
No, the teacher lost her damn mind. But let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all believe that Mike has a baby out there? Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he had kids. Like, I think he may have some kids, but I don't know if I believe it.
Obviously, stuff that Selena was not talking about last season. I felt like she used her son as a crutch to make it seem like, oh, I worry about where you are, Mike, because my baby didn't come home. I think that she has a slight fear and worry for people because of what happened to her son, but I don't think it relates to her relationship. I think she worried about him coming home because he doing other stuff. He's
so
quiet.
She's what's that baby's name from Detroit? Love Marriage Detroit. That had Bravo. So she Lakeith. So she basically is doing what Lakeitha did when it came to Bravo.
Big Mo believe this lady is worried about where her man is going 5 years after her child passed away. I genuinely do not believe that. And he's a truck driver. He cheating. Okay.
You want to say if they said it, I believe it. Mike look shifty. So he do.
Does. And
so
the women down there.
I just wish they used a different person than Carrie. I do. I wish they used a different person.
But why? I don't think it matters the person that drops the deeds. I feel
no, it does matter, because to me, I feel like if she's doing her job and then Selena takes like it out on her, then I'm a feel away. I'm gonna have to read Selena fulfill.
That's the thing. Selena is connected to each woman on the show in some way. And she also doesn't have the personality. I think you're looking at it as if it was one of the other Bells that were being told. But Selena doesn't give the personality at all from what we've seen from her on this show or the other shows that she's done, of someone who's just going to go crazy. Like, it took Soguchi getting in her face for her to really do something. And then she cried about how she harmed somebody else. Like, I don't think she would come at Carrie for that. She doesn't seem like that type of chick.
Let's
and
hope
I also
not.
have a feeling that Carrie and her might bond throughout the season, because Carrie's the least problematic. It's hard to bond with everybody else when Marie's crying over her gay ex-husband. Latrice got blood clots running up her legs, and the source of her blood clots sitting there talking about he gonna miss her. Letitia got to keep Glenn in the house and keep his, private parts in his pants. And Tambra, I don't know why she's still on this show.
We're going to get to Tambra in a minute, but Dan Rocks, thank you for coming through, because I felt this in my spirit. I felt this. I felt like this looked like the words of Letitia and Carrie Big Ass Mouth gonna go and spill the beans.
But what did I just say about Letitia? She is not a girl's girl, because a girl's girl would go to Carrie and talk to her, not or go to Selena and talk to her, because Letitia has known Selena for a long time, just as she's known Marie and Latrice and the other Bells. So the fact that Letitia, with the history that she has, will go to the newbie on the show versus Marie, who she's close with, who could have told Selena and is close to Selena, makes no sense. Like, Letitia, look at her. She look evil in the picture. Trying to tell y'all. Thanks, spirit.
So next we have Tambra. So Tambra, in the extended trailer, we learned that her father had a stroke. That was it. Now, Tambra, my well wishes for your father. Because that was it. What you want me to do? That was it. Now, Tambra, prayers for your father. We wish him well. You know, we hope that he comes out of this, you know, great and better spirit, better health, because that's scary for anybody to get that news about a parent. I know when I got my news about my father, I was a mess. So we are hoping the best for him. Now, on the flip side, Tambra and Carlos, I am sick of Tambra coming on the show and ain't doing shit, ain't showing up to shit, and ain't saying shit. Now, if y'all are filming stuff with Tambra and we're not seeing it, Carlos, you're not doing us no favors by having her here, because all of the recappers are going to do is figure out why the fuck she even here. When, to be honest with you, outside of Latrice, she's the only other person that got a whole lot of shit going on that y'all could be showing, I'm sure. Unless Tambra is saying, nope, that's off limits. And it can't be, because we've seen her at her job, so we know that that's not the problem. So I don't know what it is about Tambra and why y'all keep doing this, but I'm sick of Tambra on the show. I really am. If Tambra not bringing nothing this season, I want Tambra off the show, because I don't know why she's still here. That's all I'm gonna say. Still praying for you, Tambra, because I know that's horrible news to get on camera, on TV. That is horrible, but still, I need more. How do you feel about Tambra?
She can go. And I don't dislike her. I think if you can get her on camera long enough to engage with the people, she can read. But outside of that, I'm just like, she can go.
I hope this happens. I do. I hope this happens, because Tambra need to do something. I don't care what it is at this point. And you know, and I get it could be, because someone could say, well, James, it could be how Marie and Letitia came at her by finding her ex, so she has a restraining order on and all this and that. Yeah, that could be, but at the same time, if that's what it is, then leave the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. If that's really what it is, leave the show, because there's no point in you being here, because that could happen to any of them. I'm sure all of y'all got a crazy ass ex out there somewhere. So yes, leave the show if that's the case. Don't be here. So
that's the truth.
We're gonna move on to Carrie. So Carrie's storyline, y'all know Carrie opened up a restaurant in Mobile, Alabama, a Brick and Spoon. And from what the show displayed in the extended trailer is that the restaurant in Mobile, Alabama is not actually pulling in the numbers that the other two restaurants are pulling in. And Carrie's faced with potentially having to close down this location. Now, I'm not trying to throw a rock in her entrepreneurship, because that's a restaurant is hard for anybody. Anybody, no matter how well equipped you are or how, you know, least figured you are. That is hard for anybody to do, especially in a location. Now, I said to Mrs. Best when we did my live, I felt like that was a horrible place to open a Brick and Spoon location. I said it in my live because, you guys, I've been to Mobile, Alabama. I had to get gas there. You guys know I moved from Florida back to Phoenix, and I had to drive. Mobile was one of the places that I stopped, and it looked so like depressing. So when we saw how empty her restaurant was from the extended trailer, that's what it looks like. There was nobody in the gas station. Hell, I was scared to get gas. I was scared to go inside. I felt like this was not the best decision. Like, I'm not like, I would have much rather her opened it up in Jackson, since she's on this show, than Mobile, Alabama. I just felt like that was, I get they're not far apart from each other. Like, that's an easy drive for her. But that's unfortunate if that restaurant does have to close down. Like, I feel bad for her. I really do. Because that's going to put a lot of strain on her financially, having to fire employees. Like, that's going to be terrible to watch. So, Mrs. Best,
I really like Carrie. But this is what I want to see. Belle Collective for me. So I started watching Belle Collective because James wanted to recap it. I was actually reluctant because he wanted to recap Love and Marriage Huntsville. I encouraged him to do it. And then I watched the show and was like, this is the worst thing I've ever watched in my life. But Belle Collective was the entire opposite of the worst thing ever. It was the best thing ever. I feel like if you go back to the earlier seasons of the show, we watched a lot of Marie getting Hamilton Davis together. We watched her and Essie working together, putting things together. We watched Latrice build up Goddess Links to become so much more and then expand that brand into a restaurant. We have watched a lot of these women, even Letitia, try to revive her brunches and stuff. Like, I wish she'd stop arguing with people and would just keep showing us her trying to get her business together, because that's relatable. There's a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurs. So I appreciate Carrie for being honest versus trying to hide the financial woes and struggles that come with businesses. Not a lot of reality stars do that. I think one of the few who was very open was Candy Burris with everything that was happening with her restaurant. So I just wish Carrie the best. I'm curious about that husband. I'm curious because
well, we gonna see. We're gonna see what happens with them, and hopefully they dive into their marriage, because we really didn't get much of them. We just knew that they were, well, at least Carrie was kind of being neglectful, as you know, he put it, you know, in terms of like not making time for them. So she scaled back to try to make time for him. So I'm wondering with the close of this restaurant, what that's going to do to their dynamic, because I know that's a lot of money invested for the first year not to have a turnaround. So my best wishes are for Carrie. I want her to come out of this hopefully with not too many bruises, but keep your head up, Carrie. Thank you for, once again, like Mrs. Best said, thank you for sharing that with us, because outside of, you know, maybe Marie and, you know, Latrice, you're the only person that's really showing their business. You know, good, bad, or indifferent. You're showing it to us. So, last but certainly not least, we have Letitia. Now, Letitia's storyline is the same old shit, different season. Her and Glenn are having marital troubles because she doesn't trust Glenn. After he didn't cheated for the upteen time, she, you know, is trying to love herself more, trying to empower herself more, trying to do everything because, you know, she loved her Glenn. You know, Glenn is a good man, Savannah girl. He just a good man. He just going through a hard time keeping his long in his pants, but he a good man otherwise. So we see in the extended trailer that they're going to therapy. Letitia says she wants to become celibate. I don't know how you do that when you're already married. Could Letitia cut it the fuck out? And then also we have her beef with Latrice. Her being the other receiving end. We see them, you know, get at it. We see them looking like they're about to fight. Lots of things going on with Letitia this season that we're tired of looking of. You know, why do we still need to look at this anymore? I feel like her and Glenn are doing everything but getting a damn divorce. I feel like at the end of the day, listen, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep going through this. Like, sure, everybody has marital problems. Everybody goes through situations, but this has been years upon years upon years of I love Glenn. I don't love Glenn. I want to be with Glenn. I don't want to be with Glenn. I can't keep putting myself through this. I can't keep doing this. I'm tired because Letitia, you either gonna leave or shut the fuck up and stay with him. And listen, and whatever he do, just take it on the chin. I never tell people to tolerate cheating. I never tell people to do that. I feel like if you cannot tolerate, then you need to go. But if you're going to stay in the situation, then let us not look at that shit. Show us other shit in your life. I don't want to see the brunches either. I feel like, because if you charge $65 a pop for that shit, I don't want to see that shit either. I need to see something better. That's why I agree with Mrs. Best when she said Letitia just needs to go. Letitia needs to go. At this point, we have beat this over the head. I'm tired of talking about it. She just needs to go at this point. There's nothing more, nothing less. She just needs to go. Sorry, not sorry, but yeah. But this seems to be a very, very promising, hopefully, season. Hopefully, they do not do this thing where it's 6 episodes and then we have a reunion. I'm praying that this is not the case. I'm praying that this show goes on for, you know, a lot more episodes, because it has a lot of potential. I just think it's in the wrong hands. We don't want no lukewarm Eggo waffles. Y'all, I have never seen something so ghetto in all of my life. Like, I have been to ghetto brunches before, but ghetto brunches at least have their shit together. Like, you might got, tears in the chairs, dollar store tablecloths and all kind of other shit. But that food, if anything else, that food is going to be correct at a ghetto event. I don't know what the fuck Letitia was doing. And I hope she don't do no brunches this season. I'm just praying that she's not doing those brunches. Boss Hog gets on my, not Boss Hog. Damn, y'all. Okay, so Dion Rock said that there will be 15 episodes this season. Good. Because I don't know what the fuck Carlos was doing this last season. I don't know what that was. There was literally 6 episodes and then we went into a reunion. I'm like, why? Did nothing happen? Nothing happened. Why do we have a reunion already? So if we really are 15 episodes in this season, I am sold. I am here. I'm going to recap it, y'all. I'm going to give it my all. We're going to see how this plays out. But I've given you guys everyone's storyline that they show in the extended trailer. I don't know why Carlos did this. I don't know if this was his doing or Owen's doing. I don't know who did it. But I'm not in any element of surprise. There's not going to be a wow factor on the show, apparently. So we'll see. But let me know what you guys think about, what we talked about today. Like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, Belle Collective does premiere this Friday. I will be going live. I believe we'll do it at some point Saturday, since me and Mrs. Best will already be live for Love During Lockup. So I may just go live right after her live, so that way we can get this one out of the way. So be sure to look that up. Also, Married to Medicine will have their episode, and then Real Housewives of Potomac will have their part 1 of the reunion that we'll be live for on Monday. Those are the videos I have coming up. I appreciate everybody who was here. Please make sure you subscribe on your way out. If you're new to my channel and have not commented, welcome. Shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much. You guys, we're going to be live on me and Mrs. Best collaborative channel, Watch Your Best Friends. So make sure you guys are there. We're going to be there in 1 minute. See you guys there. Have a great night, y'all. Bye-bye now.